You probably know someone your age who is still fully living life on their own terms, still driving themselves to appointments, still cooking their own meals, still walking into a room under their own power. And you probably know someone who is not. Here's what most people never stop to ask: what actually made the difference? Because in almost every case, it was not luck. It was not genetics. It was not an expensive gym routine or a complicated health plan. It came down to one simple, free, daily habit, something that needs no membership, no equipment, and no fitness background to start. Something you can begin this afternoon. And what that habit quietly does to your blood pressure, your balance, and your brain after 60 is far more powerful than most doctors even take the time to explain, especially when it comes to how long you stay independent, sharp, and in control of your own life. Stay with me because the next few minutes could genuinely change how you think about the years ahead. Welcome to Healthy Aging Research. My name is Emily Hart, and this channel exists to give adults over 55 honest, evidence informed guidance you can actually use in daily life. We do not chase trends, and we do not exaggerate. We take research seriously, translate it into plain language, and turn it into practical steps you can bring to your doctor and into your routine. Today's video is dedicated entirely to walking. Not because it is new, but because the depth of evidence behind it is far greater than the attention it gets, and because after 60, the cost of not walking regularly is much higher than most people realize. This is not about looking fit. This is about how long you keep your independence. As always, this video is educational, not personal medical advice. Before you significantly change your activity, especially if you have heart disease, serious joint problems, or you have been inactive for a long time, please talk with your doctor first. Why independence is the real goal. When you really ask adults over 60 what they want from their health, they rarely say, "I want a six pack," or even, "I just want better cholesterol numbers." What they say, across countries and cultures, is this: I want to stay independent. I want to live in my own home, make my own choices, and not rely on others for basic daily tasks. Here is the hard truth. For many older adults, independence does not end because of one dramatic event. It usually ends gradually through quiet, slow losses, a little less strength, a little worse balance, muscles shrinking year by year until one day a fall happens or a simple task becomes impossible. From that moment, everything can change. Regular walking directly pushes back against those processes. It is not a bonus activity. For adults over 60, it is one of the most powerful everyday tools we have to protect independence. What walking does to your heart and why it matters more after 60, let us start with your heart and blood vessels, because this is where the evidence is especially strong. Large studies following hundreds of thousands of people show a clear pattern. People who walk more have a lower risk of dying from heart-related causes, with big benefits seen in the range of roughly 7,000 to 10,000 steps per day. Here is what is happening inside your body when you walk regularly. The inner lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, becomes healthier and more flexible. Stiff, inflamed arteries are a major driver of high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. Over weeks and months, regular walking can reduce arterial stiffness, lower resting blood pressure, improve cholesterol numbers, and calm down chronic inflammation, all key drivers of cardiovascular disease. For adults over 60, many of whom already have high blood pressure, this is not a small detail. Walking programs have been shown to meaningfully reduce systolic blood pressure, and for some people in the early stages of hypertension, those changes can delay or reduce the need for medication, a conversation worth having with your doctor. Blood sugar, kidneys, and the hidden metabolic health here is something most people have never been told. Every time you walk, your leg muscles pull glucose out of your blood, and a lot of that happens through pathways that do not rely on insulin working perfectly. That means walking is a powerful tool for managing blood sugar, whether you have diabetes, prediabetes, or simply want to protect your metabolic health. Research has shown that 3 short walks of 10 to 15 minutes after meals can reduce blood sugar over the course of a day more effectively than one longer walk at another time. The timing truly matters. If you do nothing else after this video, consider a 10-minute walk after your largest meal. It is a small habit with measurable impact. For your kidneys, the benefits are more indirect but still very real. Walking helps reduce blood pressure, improve blood sugar control, and reduce systemic inflammation, three of the main forces that drive kidney disease forward. In people already living with kidney disease, studies have found that those who stay physically active have a lower risk of their condition progressing to kidney failure and a better chance of maintaining quality of life. These are not just numbers. They represent people who stayed healthier, stayed out of hospital, and stayed independent longer because they kept moving. Joints, balance, and the fall no one expects this is the part most closely tied to independence, and the part many older adults have been misled about. A very common belief is, my knees or hips hurt, so walking will only make it worse. But research on osteoarthritis tells a different story. Cartilage, the cushioning inside your joints, has no direct blood supply. It gets nutrients from the fluid inside the joint, and that fluid moves and nourishes the cartilage only when you move. When joints stop moving regularly, cartilage becomes less nourished, stiffer, and more vulnerable over time. Long-term studies following people with or at risk of knee arthritis have found that those who walk regularly tend to have less pain and better function compared to those who remain sedentary. Walking also strengthens the muscles around your joints, your quadriceps, glutes, and hip stabilizers. Stronger muscles act like shock absorbers, taking some of the load off the joint itself and helping with stability. Now let us talk about falls. As we age, we lose muscle mass, sarcopenia, but we also lose something subtler: the speed and precision of communication between the brain and the muscles. The messages your brain sends and how quickly your muscles respond gradually slow down, which is a major reason falls become more common after about age 70. Walking, especially on slightly varied terrain or gentle inclines, keeps that system awake. Your brain is constantly making small adjustments in balance, stride, and weight shifting. That regular practice helps maintain the neurological pathways that protect you when you trip, slip, or step awkwardly. Picture Robert, age 73. After a minor knee surgery, he stopped walking regularly. The advice to rest turned into a habit of not moving. Over 2 years, his leg muscles weakened, his balance quietly declined, and he lost confidence walking on uneven ground. One wet morning, stepping off a curb, he fell. The fall took seconds. The recovery took months. The independence he lost during that time never fully returned. Stories like Robert's are not rare. They are common and, in many cases, at least partly preventable. What walking does for your brain, the link between walking and brain health, is one of the most encouraging areas of research for older adults worried about memory and cognitive decline. Walking stimulates the release of brain derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a compound that acts like a growth and repair signal for brain cells. Higher levels of BDNF are associated with better memory, sharper thinking, and a lower risk of dementia over time. Large, long running studies have consistently found that people who stay physically active have lower rates of dementia as they age. Walking also reduces cortisol, your main stress hormone, and boosts the release of endorphins and endocannabinoids, your brain's natural mood stabilizers. Studies on walking and depression repeatedly show meaningful improvements in mood and reductions in depressive symptoms in many different populations. For older adults, mental and physical health are tightly connected. A person who feels clearer, more stable emotionally, and less anxious is more likely to make better health decisions, sleep better, eat better, stay socially connected, all of which help protect independence. How to actually start from any level. Knowing walking is good does not automatically make it part of your life. Let's walk through a realistic way to begin. Find your starting point. Check your phone's health app to see your current daily step average. Many phones track this automatically. If you do not have this data, a simple, inexpensive step counter or watch is enough. If you are under about 3,000 steps a day, for the next 2 weeks, do not aim for perfection. Your only goal is to add one 10 to 15-minute walk per day. Walk at any comfortable pace. The priority is consistency, not intensity. Research supports slow, steady increases over sudden big changes. After 2 weeks, that first walk should start to feel like just part of your day. Then consider adding a second short walk, ideally after a meal. Even 10 minutes after dinner can help with blood sugar and digestion. The step target that makes sense. For most adults over 60, a realistic long-term goal is somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 steps per day. That range captures most of the health and independence benefits without demanding extreme effort. You do not need 15,000 steps. You need a sustainable number you can hit most days. Finding the right pace. Aim for moderate intensity, brisk enough that your breathing is deeper, but you can still hold a conversation. If you cannot speak comfortably, slow down. If you could sing without effort, pick up the pace a little. That middle zone is the sweet spot for heart and metabolic health. If you have joint pain or mobility concerns, start on flat, even surfaces and shorter distances. Invest in supportive footwear. Many older adults underestimate how much shoes matter. Walking with a friend or family member increases safety, makes it more enjoyable, and dramatically improves consistency. If your doctor has given any activity restrictions, bring up walking specifically at your next visit and ask what is safe for you. A simple and honest recap walking every day at a gentle but steady pace that raises your heart rate slightly can protect your heart and help manage blood pressure and blood sugar. Support kidney and metabolic health. Nourish your joints, maintain muscle, and help prevent falls. Support your brain, mood, and cognitive health. And most importantly, extend the years you spend living independently. It costs nothing. It requires no equipment. You can start from almost any fitness level, and the evidence behind it is as strong as almost anything we have in lifestyle medicine today. You do not need perfection. You need consistency. Around 6 weeks of regular daily walking, even short walks, is enough to begin seeing measurable changes. 6 months can meaningfully change the trajectory of your health after 60. Before you click away, three favors safety first. If you have been mostly inactive, have a heart condition, serious joint problems, or any health issue that makes you unsure, please speak with your doctor before increasing your activity. If it helps, show them this video and ask what a safe walking plan looks like for you. If this helped you, consider subscribing. Every video on this channel is created for adults navigating health decisions after 55 with honesty, care, and real evidence behind every claim. Your support lets us keep making this kind of content. Share your experience in the comments. Are you already walking regularly? Did anything in this video change how you think about it? Or is something specific holding you back from starting? Let us know below. Your story may be exactly what someone else in this community needs to hear today. Take good care of yourself, and we will see you in the next one.